What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to play a little 10-minute chess game, 10 with a 5-second increment, and today we're going to be taking on Gossin. Sorry, I was downloading something here. All right. Oh, that was distracting. Okay, so here we go. Let's go with C3. And we have a Sicilian playing C3. That was a download manager. I'm updating it, so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab the center anyway. Takes. Takes. And we're good to go. Knight's coming out. 100%, right? 100%. Not 95, not 98, not 99, 100%, and there he is. What's next? Some kind of... I'll say D6. I'm not really sure. Possibly throws in this check. Or brings out the other knight. You know what? Let's say he throws this check, and I'll change my prediction. Throws in the check. So Gasson, 1995. On the road to 2000, but this, yep, hey man, I'm nailing it. I'm nailing it. Go ahead and block. I'll say he takes. I'll say he takes it. I'll say he takes it. Nope, missed that one. But let's take a moment here because I could take here. Then he takes here with check, and probably not the best. Could try to get him to make a decision here. These pieces a little bit... I need to get my pieces out. Yeah, let's bring the knight out. Start worrying about getting castled, getting these pieces out and getting castled. Safety first. I am thinking of A3. Yeah, rook's coming over, things like this. So let's just go ahead and get castled. If he should ever take, I'll take with the knight. He wants to come closer. I think it's going to be either rook E8 or D6. Because he still wants to get this other bishop out and about. But I'm going to say, yeah, let's go with that. Let's say he'll play D6. Is it anything wrong with it? No, that was the other option, so he goes with that one. So at this point, okay, at this point we'll castle. Even though this pawn here is attacked twice. But if I bring my knight out, simply... if I bring my knight out, I can simply take. But I could take here first, then knight takes, then knight here. But then my queen hangs, so that's obviously stupid. So I could play this move, but he's just going to play H6. Then I could play something like this, but then he takes with check. I was going to say something like this would threaten here. He takes here with check, take with the king. The threat remains. Then he takes my knight, so that's bad. I'm not trying to obsess over this pawn, but I'm just trying to see if there's any way to defend it. I guess I could play this move and hope that he takes, and then I'll take back with the knight, and that's all I can think of right now. And I could chase him away until I can actually bring my knight out. So I guess that should work, unless I'm missing something. He's probably got something up his sleeve, some kind of counter. But we'll see. Just trying to hang on to this pawn for the time being so I can castle. But if he takes, I can take back, and then I'm defending the pawn. Otherwise, if he goes back here, I could just play B5. Seems pretty good. If he runs this way, then I can bring my knight out. So I'm going to guess he just plays a bishop back to a5 or takes. I'll say he goes ahead and eventually just takes, but we'll see. Time-wise, there is increment here, so don't have to really, want to play quick, but don't have to rush because it is an increment. But still, I got over a 1 minute time advantage right now over Gasson, or should I say Gosson. There's his numbers from Tunisia. Those are my numbers. You can see the slower the time control, the better I get pretty much. Super, like whatever they call it, super bullet, I'm 1429. Regular bullet, 1701. And then 1914, and whatever they call what I'm playing right now, which may just be Blitz. Maybe this is Blitz. And then, but maybe, I'm not sure. With this little fire, I'm 1626. I don't know what that is. And then with the longer standard games, I'm 2057, but there's a question mark. So I haven't played enough games to establish that as a definite. So don't know if I'm really over 2,000 there, but that's where it's at right now. 1914 in whatever mode I'm in here. Taking on a 1995, so should get some rating points if I can pull this one out. So he does decide to go back down this diagonal here, possibly thinking about bringing his knight here. I think b4's grab some space before I castle. It seems logical. He could bust through with taking, and then I have to be careful if I take back. There's no fork. There is a fork. It doesn't win my queen or anything. It could be a try though. He could even take here with check, and I can't take back. So I don't think he's going to go for that unless I encourage him to move the bishop. I think if I just bring my knight out, I don't think he goes for that. Besides, I'm defending e4, so I think I'm going to bring my knight out. Defend e4. So, if he tries for this craziness and I take, well, he can't take here with check. He'd have to go for here with check. So I think it's good to bring the knight out first, and then I'll think about b4 or castling. Because I don't want him to try for this sacrifice take and gets crazy. And now he's got it again. He now has 3 attackers on this pawn. But knight takes, queen takes, queen takes, rook takes. So now I could probably remove one of those attackers by moving the knight here because I'm attacking the queen. Takes, attacking another knight, but things are getting very shaky with my king. Still haven't castled. I could just push forward, but he's got a lot of strength on that square as well. So this move looks a little shaky because after I take, if he takes, then I have an isolated pawn. And he has got a lot of power here. And then castling becomes a little tougher, even though I have this knight and this queen. Maybe the best move is simply bishop g5. Yeah, bishop g5. Because now you can't move it. This pins the knight. Queen's not going to take first because the knight's on it. I don't know if this directly defends this pawn, but I think it does. Because obviously the only 2 pieces that can take it right off the bat are the knight and the queen. And either one of those loses the queen. So instead he's going to play like h6 maybe. Or he still may have this sacrifice in mind because now it takes here, I take. He has this check. but this bishop is defended by the knight. So and I also have this move, but now this is attacking my queen. I think I'm just going to take that, right? I think I'm just going to take that. Queen takes. Yeah, I think we'll just remove that. I do notice that after queen takes, my bishop is attacked, so I may just take here as well. It will take here as well. He's got the bishop pair, but I got a nice knight now. And he doesn't have a knight. Knight can hop up into here possibly. After this exchange, after the queen takes, this is just devastating here. If I don't castle or do something, which I'm probably going to castle, like something like this would be game pretty much over. So let's see, castling obviously, right? Yeah, just castle. Now this pawn's finally going to make its move. This bishop has been locked in the whole game. Let's see what else. I gotta think of this move and then going for the super fork. Actually, it wouldn't be a super fork. It would just fork. But if he was dumb enough to move here, it could be. I don't think he is. If he sees this move though right away, he has to defend this square. So he'd have to either here or here, I'm guessing. This is definitely on my mind right here, trying to get into c6. This pawn continues to be a little bit shaky. This move is illegal, and probably not very smart anyway, as long as he's got that dark squared bishop. Could definitely cause me problems on the diagonal here if I move this pawn. Moving pawns in front of my king is one of my, I'm bad at timing when to do it. I usually don't. I usually just try to keep them there as long as possible, usually too long. Because at some point it's good to start moving these pawns, but with a queen on the board, this bishop here, rooks, another bishop that's going to get out eventually, I don't feel like moving any of these pawns. And I can't move this one, even if I wanted to. But his time is getting a little bit low. What is, I think it's a 10-second increment. So yeah, 10-second increment. It'd be cool if this bishop was over here and I could do something like that. And that'd be a nice little trap if he was to take it with either of these. Ball game over. Okay, that's a surprising move. Obviously he wants to put his bishop over here. A little bit of a surprising move. Obviously, this is still in play. Issue could be if he plays here, I still got the fork. I was going to say he could try to, still go after this pawn, but I don't think he's going to fall for... Don't think he's going to fall for it. But let's go ahead and do it. Knight up there. I mean, it's a good square for the knight. There's no pawns that can attack it. It seems like a very nice post for the knight, regardless. Okay, so he is defending h6. I cannot move this pawn. Even if I could, like I said earlier, not the best idea, but at this point it would attack the queen. I'm just visualizing where the queen would go to one of these two squares to maintain control here. Now, what do I do here? Maybe rook c1. The queen is attacking here, but then that allows for this fork. So as well as taking here, if queen takes here, takes... Oh, but then rook takes and the fork is gone. But if queen takes here, I could just go fork right away. Queen takes, I still got the fork. So I'm thinking like, if he's trying to be greedy, take this pawn or take this pawn, this fork could become available. But, you know, I still got to look out for checks and all kinds of craziness. So queen takes. No, let's say rook c1. Just make a move. Queen takes here. Fork. I think I'm okay. I think the rooks defend themselves. On the other hand, if queen takes here, so rook here, queen takes here, fork right away, queen takes, bishop takes, fork is still good. So let's do it. It's a little risky, but let's do it and see if he goes for one of these two pawns. I don't know. We'll see after the game if this was a bad move, but I think just a regular move is fine here. I think this knight is very comfortable here. Yeah, he can take this pawn, but I take here. Queen can take. I take back. The fork stays. He has to have seen this. That's why I moved the queen there in the first place. He has to see this threat, I think. So he could play like a move like this, threaten mate, and guard against knight to c7. I'd have to deal with mate, of course. But anyway, that would open up then this possibility. You could throw a check back in, just move. I don't know. Well, this game could go in a lot of different directions here in the last few minutes. But he's taken enough time that I think it's pretty clear he sees this threat. But as long as this knight is here, lots of possibilities can arrive. And he can't remove the knight, all except with this bishop. So he can remove the knight with the bishop, but a pawn can't attack. And he's probably not going to sacrifice one of his major pieces. So this bishop, though, could become an issue. And that might be his next move, which obviously he planned to do when he played b6. So I think bishop b7 is coming. Oh, it goes for the mating move that I talked about. And I talked about f4. Then you could throw this check in. But I simply move. It's a little bit scary to open this up, but I'm going to have to open something up anyway. And he still has a light squared bishop. I mean, I can't defend this mate threat without moving one of these pawns unless I'm missing something. I could play my queen here. But queen takes. Wow, that's not too bad. Queen takes, pawn takes here. But it's a little risky. Queen can take here. Nope, queen can't take there. I just take here. So this move is interesting. Queen can only defend the bishop here. So let's imagine queen g3 and then queen e6. Queen e6. I don't hate it. I mean, I had to move, but I can move up here. This knight is threatening some things. I mean, I don't know. I think I like it better than f4 or g3. He could take this pawn. If I play this move, he could take the pawn, but then I just take the bishop, right? And then he takes my bishop. Yeah, so queen here, takes pawn, takes bishop, takes my bishop. That's a little messy. That's a little messy. f4. f4, g3, or queen g3. Queen g3, I just saw if he takes here, I take here. But then no. Takes my bishop, but then I make my rook over. Does he have a mate? Oh man, this is so much to calculate. Queen here. Takes, takes, takes. I can't move my rook here. Takes, takes, mate. Okay. Let's go with G3. I still got this move though. Queen here. Queen takes, takes, takes. Queen down here. All right. Maybe F4 after all. No, he's got this check. Let's just go G3. He's going to take my pawn. I know I've calculated it all out with this bishop here. It's not good, so... yeah, let's go G3. I got to do something. We'll find out after the game if Queen G3 was best. I'm not really sure. I think he's coming down here. He leaves some possibilities. Yeah, I mean, when you grab pawns like this, there's usually something that I'll have, but in this case, I'm not seeing too much. I do see this bishop undefended, so I could take with this, but then, no, queen can take. No, that's bad. I could throw this check in, but queen can take. That's bad too. This queen has got so many squares covered. She's got all this covered, all this covered. Okay, it goes with that move. Let's offer the queen trade. I have this pawn hanging. Didn't really see it because I had to move quick, getting a little low on time. But so is my opponent. We're both 25 seconds left. Took a long time on that G3 move. I don't know if it was best or not. To me, the options were G3, F4, and Queen G3. Queen G3. I mean, you saw I calculated it out, and it wasn't too promising, but I could be wrong. You know, he's got 6 seconds. We might want to move, and he does. Take with the rook. This does attack the rook, so take the rook. Try to trade here. I don't need to rush too much. I'm up the exchange here. I have a check take. I have a tactic here. I don't have the tactic anymore. I'm looking for tactics here. Not loving the two bishops. Yeah, see, I fucked up. I should have saw that with those two bishops. As soon as I said not loving the two bishops, he finds the move. I have time too. All right, well, that's bad. Things change very quickly. Very quickly. And I have big problems now. 3 pawns on this side, 3 pawns, 1 pawn over here, but he's got this central pawn. And it's a big issue. But I do have this move. If he doesn't move that pawn, he should move maybe to a dark square. I almost feel like pre-moving this. But yeah, he's got just enough time. Ooh, good move there. Kind of. Now I take here. Maybe I'm okay. Okay, nice draw maybe. I guess I don't have to rush to move that. Let's start moving forward here. This is a dark squared bishop, so gotta get the king come out. This is a draw. Yeah, this is gonna be a draw. I had to win, unless I blow it somehow. Yeah. Let's get the king centralized. I could offer a draw, but I don't think he's going to accept it. Dark squared bishop, so this is just going nowhere here. This bishop can't touch this. The king can't touch this. It's not going nowhere. Maybe get the king out in front. Yeah, I'm not in-game specialist, I can tell you that. If I play this, takes. Yeah, let's... I gotta make a move. I can't run out of time here. I gotta do something. King gonna come over here. Pushing is no good. Take. Okay, so these are both light squared. No, this bishop can't touch me. King's got to go here, right? Then I have a... Oh, he doesn't do it. He goes there. Well, he's defending him. Yeah, everything is defended. This is a draw. I don't think there's any way through here. Give him a couple seconds to accept, and he does. So, obvious draw there. I had the win. I had the up the exchange, and completely blew it. Just completely blew it. Okay, we have the final analysis here, and I had 5 inaccuracies to his 4. I had 2 mistakes to his 1, and I had 1 blunder to his 2. You can see I clearly had this game. I mean, obviously, I guess you could say he had the game at one point. He had a pretty good advantage, but I had an absolute winning advantage. Then I gave away, then it was a draw. But, you know, just see here, E4, C5. C3, E5 is a mistake. Then I played. There's been occasionally this position will happen, not too often, but when I play the Alapin variation. So I didn't know. I'm not even supposed to take here. This is interesting. So right here, I'm supposed to bring the knight out. D4 is okay, but after I take here, this is not good. I'm supposed to play knight F3, but hey, it's fine. It's still about even. Run away here. There's the check that I expected. I blocked here with the bishop. Knight comes out. Knight F3, castle, bishop E2. At this point, black is getting a little bit of an edge here. And then A3, not good. Should have just castled at this point. But bishop C5 was not good. What he should have done was apparently make this exchange. Knight takes. And then break through here with D5. If I push... Brings the knight over here, castle, knight over here harassing me. Yeah. And apparently black is doing really good, I guess, but not very obvious, so I think I'm fine. Oops, sorry, go back to the game. What actually happened is bishop moves here, knight C3, queen E7. Then I went for this pin. Okay, that's fine. Knight to E5 is an inaccuracy, and now I've gained an advantage, a slight edge. After this capture and this capture, I felt pretty good about it. I was like, okay, we cleaned off some things here. I think I castled. I did. B6 looked kind of funny. I went for the knight to D5, just trying to put the knight on a good square and potentially have a fork that never came to fruition here. Rook C A C1. It's saying here, oh, I should have moved rook to D1. Well, I had the right idea moving the rook, not worrying about defending these pawns at least. I just should have moved. Yeah, it would have made more. I don't know why I chose C1. D1 would have made more sense. But we're still about even. Goes for mate, and sure enough, it's F4 that's recommended. Interesting. F4. Can we see? I want to change this here. Let's see multiple lines here. Get 5 different lines so we can see the other options here. And yeah, it looks like F4 is the best move. The one I played, G3, was not the worst. It is an inaccuracy, but it's not the worst. But yeah, bishop. The other one was rook to H3, which I didn't really consider because you're lining it with the bishop. It's a little bit scary there to do that. But even though this pawn is there, something could happen. I just didn't want. I didn't feel comfortable to be there. But as it turned out, I didn't play the worst move. This move would have probably been, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that move. He could have taken my knight with the discovered attack. Wow. So I'm glad I didn't play that move. I almost did. I took a ton of time before I decided to go with G3. And he didn't take here. And I moved quickly here. Queen, trying to trade queens. I was running low on time. Takes. And after I take here, I think he just missed it because he's running low on time. I got it here. I got the win. I'm up the exchange. But before I can even, first of all, that wasn't a very good move. But, I moved over here thinking about this tactic. And before I can even think, I just say, here you go, take my rook. That's just an awful move. To not think about that and put these on the same diagonal, it's like I have no explanation. That was just terrible. But so be it. And from here, it's pretty much a draw now. I was a little worried because obviously there's this pawn here in the center, so I'm thinking black has some of an edge. But after this move here, I don't know what I expected, but I expected him to try to hang on to this pawn somehow. Yeah, like rook to D8. Instead, he just offered this trade, which now it's a straight draw. It's a simple draw. Yeah. All right. Well, good game. Draw against Gossin, and I actually gained 3 rating points, so can't complain. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you next time.